The reason I read the passage about Andy and Sarah and the song Calling Sarah is because Sarah is in fact here to be with us. Before, I got it. Oh, like Sarah Wirt is a wonderful fucking person. It is unbelievable. In the process of putting together this book, there are obviously like lots of weird kind of egos. There's just lots of politics behind it. There was also like lots of conflicting stories and lots of like fragmented shit. Like I was trying to put together stories from guys who hadn't spoken to each other in decades, and who had like not just not spoken to, just like you know we're nowhere near each other, at least emotionally. And I needed a lot of things. One of the things I needed was a you know, a guy with a lantern, like somebody who knew what the fuck was going on and who I could rely on to be clear and to be honest and to give me good feedback and also to give me like shit that I couldn't find elsewhere. And that person was Sarah Wirt, who brought me into her home, gave me a record, and read 2 or 3 early drafts of the book because I wanted somebody who was there to make sure that what was in there reflected something like what was out here. The book either wouldn't have happened or would have been bad were it not for Sarah Wirt. And so, you know, like I'm eternally grateful. I'm proud to call her friend. I'm excited to bring her up here.
Hello, thank you everyone. I am completely in awe, and it's amazing. I'm also very shy, so I'm sorry if I'm kind of a dork up here. I'm trying not to be too much. I definitely got to go through some incredible times, and I was thinking about what he was saying about with Kish Kettner and the whole thing, and I remember meeting Andy, and he would sit at his kid at that point, and he'd have like this microphone, and it would come up and over, and he would sing, and he had this kind of like the police kind of like, you know, vocal kind of thing going back in there at that time. And it was really cool. I mean, before he even got up. And when you said that, it made me think about those times early on when we were together and the morphing of from that to Beat Beach and on. And at one point, pre-Jellyfish, he really wanted to think about, like, I want to be a front man. I want to get up. I want to like do that, but I want to play the drums. So he started thinking about, like, how am I going to do that? And we were living together in this little place in Katati, which my friend at the time was a bass player touring with the Ice Capades. So we babysat his house. So that was our free gig, you know, we got the little house while he toured, which was hilarious, I thought. But one morning, we're just waking up, and Andy looks at me and he says, you know, I'm seriously thinking about standing. And I look at him and I'm like, do you need some help? Like, can I come up, like, what's wrong? And he's like, no. Like, you know, like, playing the drums, like, stand. I'm like, oh, great. Okay, great. So, but he did, you know, and he had, I mean, like, back in the Beach days, he had, like, this little, like, air tank and a wooden mallet, like a pedal, but it was a little wooden one, and he played, like, this little air tank and shit. It was fun. So, I got to experience a lot of pretty amazing things and growths, and, I wanted to say, I'll try to keep it short, but there was one thing I was thinking about calling Sarah, which was obviously very special for me, and it almost didn't make it on the album, because it was something they really wanted. They put it on the demos, it was like a big deal. They got in the studio, and it just kind of worked. And Andy did this whole like vocal thing, and it was like this just flowed, like these things came out that had never been in it, that just like came out, and it was like, oh, like we got it. And then, so they went on to other parts, like, there's tambourine, like all this different stuff going on. And the second engineer recorded over that whole thing. Oh. So then they went back and they're all like, you know, kind of squished. You're like in a corner and you're trying to make this thing be what it was, right? You know, like make it flow again. And it wouldn't. And it just like they were in the studio, and, you know, feeling like they're wasting time. Like trying. And finally he was like, it's just gonna have to get cut. I mean, it's coming off. And it was like, you know, I mean, you know, I was bummed, but I was not going to put that out there. It's their thing, right? I'm not going to be like, but it was like, okay. And then the next day they got in there and they worked it out. They figured it out and it made it back in. But it was it was really fun, and to this day, I still get people who come up and like, so you're Sarah? Like calling Sarah? Like, can I call you? But thank you guys. I mean, this is amazing. It's fun to be part of it, to see it like all these years later, everybody still wanting to know about it. And for supporting Craig, and for coming to this incredible endeavor. So I think I'm gonna sneak away.
Yeah, actually, building on Sarah's point, thank you so much for being here and for being with the Levitarians. I can tell you that we've checked in with all 6 Jellyfish alums, and they are all like exceedingly happy and grateful that this is happening and that y'all are here, and you know, appreciative and will show it or not in their own way.